付けしろ。配置につきまし。みんな姉です。ひと夏の物語聞きたくない？一緒に潮風感じちゃおう。なわたなわたわたはどんなわだなティングだティングだどんどんわなはえらわたわたわたわたわたわたわたわたわたここななわたわたわたわたティングだティングだどんだどんどんだわたになこれはおまけね。波しぶきがザッパー用心しろ。へっへっとやっ当たりません。育児なしはバイバイ。へっへっだひゃっやっはっだへっはっほっほっよっやっすいひゃっやっ刀はのうさやだ。えい波しぶきがザッパーン。
No, finish having my lunch.
ふう、波乗りタイム。悩みよ悩み、飛んでいけ
やっじゃやっ耐えてみせる。
育児なしはバイバイ。
やっ悪直残共に奇跡を奏でましょう。
どう？
邪魔だ。はっ耐えてみせる。
波しぶきが突破。
やっちれやっ終わりだ。
頭冷悩みよ悩み、飛んでいけ
やっ悪直残
頭冷やす。
終わりだ。
育児なしはバイバイ。
チレはっ受けて立つ。
怒んないでよ。
やっはっじゃやっ
頭冷やす。
耐えてみせる。
Hello there, how's it going? I guess I'll go down the center path. Or should I go down the right side? Oh wow, that sucks so hard. Jesus fuck, could you stop giving me fucking dexterity in general? Give me fucking... Oh, just, what the fuck? Just give me the one I need! I needed ultimate stuff. Like, luckily that also does ultimate, but Jesus Christ, that was dog shit. Where it's like, hey, I know you don't have any of these armor pieces of equipment, so we're just gonna only give you those buffs. Like, come on, man. Great, awesome. So, awesome. Thank you for not giving me the piece of gear I wanted again. I wanted another ultimate or mobile. That would have been awesome. Thank you for giving me something I have literally no buffs in. Cool. I do find that kind of annoying. The fact that you can't refresh it as well. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, it's just random luck. I mean, the whole point of this is it's this roguelike element where it's like, yeah, sure, you can't ever reliably do stuff. So they added a bunch of like random stuff to it to make it kind of like more, kind of like to add a false sense of replayability. So like you basically. So basically, like, they added some, like, little things. Oh, fuck. Of course, I choose stun, and of course I get only non-stun. Oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's what's so fucking annoying about this, where it's like, yeah, I had dexterity and 2 general, I refreshed it, and I got literally the same thing. It's like, come on. Like, just give me something fucking different. But yeah, like, so the idea is that, it's kind of like Honkai Star Rail's Divergent Universe and stuff like that, where like the buffs are random and stuff like that. The shitty thing is that you just get like you're getting these like these pieces of gear, and you have to get buffs in that same type. So like this is a mobile piece of gear, so I have to get mobile buffs, and it'll increase the extra bonus effects of that gear. So you need lots of them, and same for like ultimate. You want to get that. So but for like getting gear, like you can only pick your initial piece of gear. That's it, and then you have to like go into certain realms, like certain parts of the map. So like that like little like shield icon thing was a place where you could get another piece of gear. And so the idea is that you collect a lot of buffs, and then you get a piece of gear, and now because of the buffs you have, you can now upgrade, because basically two upgrades levels up the piece of gear by one level. So the idea is you go in, you get a lot of buffs, and then you can like make your artifact stronger. But it's completely random, and the buffs you get are completely random, so it's like great. So I went in and I was like, cool, I'll get, because there's another ultimate type and there's also another mobile type artifact. So if I'd gotten that, it would have instantly leveled to level 4 because I had enough buffs to do that. But instead, it only showed a stun one and an adversity one, both of which I had 0 buffs for. So now it's just a level 1 piece of shit that's completely fucking useless. And then when I got the another buff, it was not in any of the 3 types of gear I have. And when I wasted one of my refreshes, it gave me literally the exact same choices between dexterity and general. And general is just like a general buff that doesn't provide any bonuses to artifacts. So it's like, and what they've done is that they have, sure. What they've done is that like they have this like strategy, and like this, like look at this. Oh, no, sorry, never mind. I actually do have stun. That's good. Oh, cool. Actually, no. Oh, I can too. Cool. So, cool thing is, I did actually get 2 stun. So, as you can see, like this is what happens when you get 2 buffs. Now that that piece of that artifact went from level 1 to level 2, and I get a little bonus attribute for it. So, like that's the name of the game, where you're just like, oh, cool! I got actually a piece of gear too. So this is what I want. So I got the piece of gear, and now that thing should have instantly leveled to 4, right? Oh, damn it. Okay, so I was hoping it would level up to this. I got another buff that automatically leveled this, but I thought it was something applied to all artifacts, but apparently it only leveled any ones you currently had and not. Yeah, either way. So like that's, so there is a level of like collection to it. So basically when you there are move. So like kind of like Divergent Universe and Honkai Star Rail, they have you know how like you can you can discover occurrences and stuff for the first time, you can discover buffs for the first time. They basically do that as well, where they're like, oh yeah, you a fucking course. Actually, I can use it normally. It's like, stop giving me all this shit. Well, now I'm fucked. All general stuff. All general. Like, I don't need fucking general, and now I can't refresh, because if I refresh, the cheapest thing you can buy is 600. So if I refresh and spend 100, I wouldn't have enough to buy it. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. But basically, it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh, it's recording the number of buffs you've collected, it's recording the number of occurrences you've seen, stuff like that. Well, basically, this does the same thing too. Is that it records? Oh, okay. Have you gotten all the cards? Have you gotten all the buffs? Also, for the what's that? Okay, yeah, okay. I did see. I saw the I haven't seen. I know I've seen some things like so obviously I've seen Iceland's and the Free Arena knockoff. So I've seen that kind of stuff. but I haven't actually seen like what it's going to involve and all that stuff.
刀はもう鞘だ。やっさあすい
悩みよ悩み飛んでいけ勝利を上となし
So I usually like wait for the I usually wait till like watching YouTube, and then because it's a Friday thing, I would normally do it on Saturday, but I was hanging out with a friend all yesterday, so I didn't really have a chance to watch YouTube videos and stuff. Oh my fucking god, this sucks so much dick when it keeps fucking running away. It keeps teleporting away. Fucks over my Oh, with March. Yeah, I've seen the new March. She looks pretty cool. Yeah, it is. It's one of those ones. They really kind of made it annoying in two ways, which is kind of shit. Is that there's this new. This type of boss, basically, I think in 2.0, essentially for Zenless, they added this new mechanic. Yeah, I really like her. She looks really cool. They added this new mechanic in 2.0, where basically some enemies and some bosses will have this like miasma shield. And so normally, like every single boss has like a stun gauge, and so all your attacks do stun. Although the stunning units do more stun, and when they're stunned, they collapse to the ground and become immobile, which is a great like burst window type shit. And the miasma shield covers up their stun gauge, so essentially you basically have to re-stun them. They become like they become immune to all damage. I think you have to like basically re-stun them, deplete their miasma gauge before it purifies them, and now you can actually properly stun them again. And combined with it, like, so that's annoying in and of itself, where it's like, okay, so basically you do practically no damage. It's just a way to extend battles now, because it's like, well, you can't do any damage to them because they're fucking immune. And so as you can see, like, you can collect all the stuff. So it's like you want to collect all the things. So like they're immune to damage, which is just annoying. And you can't stun them, which is like, yeah. And it's not all the time. Like it takes a while before they build it. It's not like they start with the miasma gauge, but like in battle, unless you can like burn them down super quick, they'll usually get at least one of it off. And so now you're stuck there having to deplete its gauge, and like they become more frenzied and stuff. And like if it was just that, it'd be fine. You know, if it was just that, I wouldn't have too much of an issue. But what I found really annoying is that, so one of the ways to like burst down that gauge is to do like parry attacks, where like when you see those orange flashes, if you press the R1 button at the right time, if you see the orange flash and press R1, you'll do this like counter parry attack, and that will deplete the gauge by a lot. Also, ultimates will deplete the gauge by a lot, and dodge counters and stuff. And so that's why during those phases, during the miasma shield phase, what it'll do is it'll constantly do a flurry of these attacks, these dodgeable or parryable attacks, so that you can like burn through their miasma gauge quickly with those parries and counters. What sucks though is that the way they've designed it is that they're actually like immune most of the time, because they disappear and then reappear to do an attack that you either have to dodge or parry, and then they disappear again. So if you wanted to line up an ultimate, if you're like, oh cool, my ultimate's up, I'm going to use my ultimate, because it's an AoE thing, it should, you know, the problem is they're disappearing, so they're taking no damage because they've disappeared as part of their attacks. So you'll often miss a lot of your attacks because they've disappeared for a few seconds before reappearing. And so like that just makes them really fucking annoying. So not only have they extended the length of the fight simply because they've, have this miasma shield, but they've made them just basically immune a lot of the time simply because their mechanics have them like disappear and are not even targetable on the field. And I never like that. Like I've never liked that in any sort of I've never liked that in any sort of action combat game. Like it just feels like shit. It feels like shit when you're just like, hey, yeah, come and attack. Like you can't attack us, and it's just like missing stuff is kind of annoying. Because like one of the ways to burst through the shield is to do ultimates. You're like, oh, like normal attacks will do like just 1 damage, and so it's all about parry attacks and ultimate attacks because they actually break through that miasma shield. But then you essentially say, well, yeah, most of your ultimates will fail because ultimates don't freeze time. You're there, like the enemy can move. Sometimes your ultimate will like stun them somewhat. Like just being hit by an ultimate will like kind of like freeze them in place. But there are other enemies that just don't do that. This is one of them. So that's what just kind of made those types of enemies frustrating, is that they've made them take longer and they've just made them more annoying by making them untargetable during their most annoying phase. So like the idea is that, oh, well, what you need to do is you need to go and attack, and you need to do all your parry attacks, wait till you've parried them down to death, and then you can come in and do that. But like, it just, I as I said, like I just don't like this artificial difficulty and just making them untargetable. Like, just leave them on the field. Allow me to do damage to them anyway. And then, like, you want to do that flurry of attacks? That's fine. Just don't be invisible and untargetable half the time while that's going on. Like that would be it. Like that's all you need to do. You want just have them like rotate around you, or hell, even if they're invisible, still allow them to take damage or something. But yeah, it's just not fun. But yeah, so what I'll probably do today is I'll probably watch some of the videos to go over what the next patch is going to have. But yeah, I saw that Heislands and Harmony Figurina is. I see that they're new. You can set them as targets for like farming and stuff like that in the guide. So I've set Heislands as that because she's gonna make dots great again. But yeah, Evernight looks pretty cool. I'm curious how, like, obviously, it looks like a pretty evil March. So is March actually going evil? Is she turning to the dark side and we have to rescue her or something? Or is this just her being taken over by the entity? Like, when they were like, yeah, come on, March, come inside. Is she being taken over by destruction? I mean, she's still Remembrance, though. So, like, regardless, she's still considered a Remembrance path, but I don't know, maybe it's a Remembrance tinged with destruction. We shall see. Yeah, they should. They tweeted her splash art image, and she's Ice Remembrance. Which, would make sense, because, like, obviously she's heavily Fuli influenced, so she's heavily on the path of remembrance. It's just surprising how, like, well, she looks, like Arlecchino, basically. So you think, oh, well, like, and she's all, like, black and stuff, so you're like, oh, well, maybe... So you could think, oh, maybe she went destruction, right? Like, maybe she's being influenced by destruction, but no, it seems... Despite that, she's still remembrance. So either, like, maybe she goes destruction, and maybe that's what makes her black, and then we pull her back to, like, the good side, and that makes her remembrance. Or maybe it'll be like maybe even with remembrance, she'll be like summoning an avatar of a destruction or something. So it'll be like a combination of destruction and remembrance. Who knows? Yeah, it looks cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I finished up the Ineffa's character. Well, not I mean Ineffa's the Archon quest. So that was actually pretty. Ineffa that Archon quest was really interesting because like when they were when I think one of the Dragon Lords, like one of the Dragon Lords little like lore bits, like one of the little like journals you could read. It talked about how that maybe humans are from like maybe humans aren't native to Teyvat because they were making it seem like humanity itself came from the stars. Like humans didn't exist on the planet until they were brought over. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe maybe what happened is like back in the day, maybe like humanity escaped from another planet on like spaceships, and like we're essentially a colonizing ship, and that's how we landed on Teyvat, and the original colonizers from those spaceships are Archons, basically. And so maybe that's what the Archon War was for 7,000 years ago. The Archon Wars were the people who can be considered Archons are the original colonizers, the original aliens from space, and then using like the super technology of their spaceships, they were able to like steal the power of the dragons and like put up a barrier over the planet to keep them safe. And that's why and maybe that's why they seem, and then maybe they created humanity as well, like using like maybe they terraformed the planet or something, and that's where humanity came into existence, and that's why that's the difference, is that the Archons and people who can become Archons are those original colonizers, and humanity was just like created by them and their technology. So that could be, it's hard, but it's hard, obviously we don't really know. It doesn't really explain the existence of those gods either. But maybe they were like already. Maybe they were the leaders of the colonizing ship, and they were the ones who helped use their space technology to take over the power of the dragons, and were able to imbue it into themselves, and that's how they were elevated to that god status, even back like 7,000 plus years ago. So that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of like my theory about it. I mean, that's assuming that what they said is correct, but they did make it seem that humanity itself is not native to Teyvat. And then, because I was always kind of like wondering, like, well, what's the difference between an Archon and a human, right? Like, it's not like. Now, I haven't even started the summer quest. I haven't been doing much Genshin. Like, I realized what happened the last time. No, not yet. I heard good things about it, but I haven't started it yet. Because like what happened last time in Genshin is like I basically just like worked on the quests and stuff, like just during the day, and like I finished them, and then like there's nothing to do for the rest of the patch. And so I realized, what I really should do is just, I mean, do the stuff that has like deadlines and stuff as soon as you can. But basically, what I'll be doing is like for my workouts, when I'm walking for an hour, I'll be focusing on like those stuff because it gives me something to do. Because there were a few times where like I was like, kind of like running out of quests to do because like I was doing so many of the Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, doing those quests. Like, yeah, the summer event should be around for a while. I mostly focused on the Ineffa one, the Archon quest, because the Archon quest has that deadline for Ineffa's limited character banner rewards. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. So I'm curious if that's going to be how it is. We're probably not going to get any real news about it, but I always kind of been wondering like what makes an Archon, like how are they able to, be gods and all that stuff? Like what's the difference between them and humanity? And so if humanity itself is not native to the planet, that would kind of explain it. Is that the original colonizers would be? I don't know. I like her, but I've heard not great things about her, like damage-wise. No, I'm thinking they are Celestia. I'm thinking the colonizing ship colonizing spaceship that came from space arrived, used their super technology to steal the power of dragons, and formed Celestia at that point. And so Celestia was just, where all the alien colonizers like first created their colony, and then they might have like bioengineered humanity to act as like representatives of themselves or something. And then 7,000 years ago, like the original colonizers fought against each other and fucked over the world until there's only a few of the original colonizers left. And maybe even at that point they were banished. Or maybe it could have been a war between the colonizers who lived in Celestia and the ones who like went down to Teyvat to live amongst the animals and stuff. And there was a war between them and Celestia because maybe the people who stayed on Celestia thought of themselves as better. I'm not sure. Like, obviously, this is purely speculation. That's what I think it is. I think if what they said in that journal is true, and humanity is not native, then that's what I think Archons are. Archons are the original purebred aliens from beyond the stars. And, well, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say specifically what Gnosis are. Well, no, I mean, we know Gnosis are extracted from the Descenders. And it seems like it just allows them to attune to it, but we don't really know what they actually do. Because they kind of seem like... I mean, in theory, yes. I think it's hard to say specifically what makes Descenders. Like, is it they're filled with the power of the Abyss, and the Abyss can then attune to various elements? Are they another type of energy beyond the Abyss? Like, they did mention in Anepha's quest that the reason why Anepha's vision was different is because it uses a more primordial form of energy. So like that makes it really confusing because it's like, well, shit. Like there's the energy on Teyvat. There's the energy from like the dragons that like the dragons use, and then there's like, yeah. And it's hard to know. I mean, well, we do know that Celestia was the one who initially made the Gnosis. But we don't really know what did they kill the Descender and then chop them up? Yeah. And they said that like the visions that Nod Cry use a more primordial form of energy. So is that bypassing Celestia? Is it like is the energy, the elemental energy from visions, is the origin of that energy from the dragons? And maybe the Nod Cryan ones are using the energy from the planet itself, like attuning to that, because that would be more primordial if it's the planet's energy versus the dragon's energy. But who knows, really? And perhaps, obviously, yeah, we don't know too much about it. But like it did seem, I saw some videos about Anepha's like combat performance, and like honestly, her lunar charge stuff is not super good. Like, they were doing, like, showcases with Anepha fighting, and it's, like, even when she was active and doing stuff, like, it wasn't, like, defeating enemies that much quicker. Like, that was the crazy thing, whereas, like, if she wasn't, like, active on the field, just the lunar charged reaction doesn't do that much more damage. And so, like, I saw people, like, trying to use a cryo Regisfine with, like, Xingqiu and like Fischl and stuff like that, and just having Anepha in the team so that you trigger lunar charge. And with Anepha in the team or without, with normal electrocharge and lunar charge, it would basically do the same amount of damage. And even with Anepha on the field and like doing stuff, it wasn't a huge difference. So like that seems a little disappointing. So I don't know. It could be that she'll become better with other Nod Cryans in combat, maybe, or maybe there'll be some extra usage. Like maybe if you're using the lunar charge, electrocharge thing, maybe there's going to be other things that can like work with. Maybe there's more synergistic effects between other lunar charge reactions, but from what I saw so far, she didn't seem super impressive combat wise. Like she's nice in the sense, yeah, and so it could be that there will be more synergy with other characters, and we just, I mean, it could be that they're just not unlocked. Like it could be that they're going to add something to like that will just retroactively make NFA good, or it could be that they're just going to add new characters, and the new characters make NFA better, or NFA synergizes better with. And then of course there's the fact that again we don't have Nod Cry, so we don't have Nod Cry artifacts, and so she could get like there could be like a Nod Cry and artifact that's kind of like the Natlan DPS one, the one that's like, oh yeah, if you trigger Night Soul Burst, you get like 40% crit rate. It could be something like, oh, if you trigger a Lunar Charge reaction get 100% like bonus damage or something like that. You know, it could be that there's going to be some like artifact set that's just going to like super ramp up those Lunar Charged abilities. And then maybe an F will become good at that point. So it could be more synergies with other Nod Crying characters. It could be artifact sets designed for those new lunar reactions. Who knows? But at the moment, like she's not super good. But I mean, the fact that she has 100% uptime in her shield is nice. I think the only other shielder, Electro Shielder, is Beidou, kinda. And Beidou's not really like I wouldn't really consider Beidou an electric shielder. But like she does have a electric shield when she's holding her counter. But I don't think there's another Electro Shielder. So she'll definitely be super useful if you're fighting electric character. Like if you're fighting enemies that do electric damage, now you'll have that 250% additional stuff. 250% additional damage reduction or damage absorption. Plus, I think it's attack scaling, so it's like you're already. Oh, really? I didn't look at her constellations. I mean, the good thing about her is one, she's an Electro Shielder, which we don't have. Two, her shield has 100% uptime. It's a like 20-second duration on a 16-second cooldown. So it's just like you'll always have it up as long as like it doesn't pop. But still, I like those. It's not like other ones where it's like Layla, where it's like you have 100% uptime, but it's perfectly 100%. So the second it falls off, you have to immediately swap to her to get it back on, or else you take damage. You don't have any leeway at all. Or not like Diona, where it's like you actually lose your shield pops before the cooldown comes down, which kind of sucks. So she's good in that way, and just as an Electro Shielder, like that's pretty cool. But yeah, it doesn't seem like lunar reactions at the moment are super powerful. But dang. That's so annoying. Cannot get a good pairing to save my fucking life. don't know what these chip effects are, but
Una. Water. Water. 盛り上がってグーなのです。ゴジだ。
Yeah, and that's for like her personal damage. And like I saw something about how like she has like some weird like multiplier for her when she does damage herself, she gets a big multiplier. Um, but yeah, like it's but like the main thing it was is that they were like just showcasing just like comparisons of electrocharge damage between lunar charged, and it was like bosses were dying in the same amount of time, and it's like sometimes even in a slower amount of time. So it's like so yeah. I but like again like she doesn't have an artifact set, so like I'm pretty sure that Nodcry is going to release an artifact set that boosts lunar elemental damage. Like I think right now her best in slot is I think it's like Cyno's thing. Or it's just like you just increase your elemental mastery and attack or something like that. So it's like I bet that it's going to be like some sort of thing that's just going to boost like specifically lunar charge, like lunar not lunar charge, but like any lunar elemental reaction. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw I went to lose gaming who was like, oh yeah, like he was actually like evaluating it. And I think he was doing like the 4-piece Cyno set, which just ended up being slightly better. Um, because it provides elemental mastery, which does affect the lunar charge reaction. So I think yeah, it provides. I forget what the 4-piece buff was because I don't have Cyno and I never really looked at it. But for me, I don't like I haven't really farmed that set, so I'm just like I haven't farmed the set, so I can't give it to her. And I have a pretty decent set on her normally because I was just using Wanderers and Gladiator since I had so many of them. But sure. So I was able to hobble together a pretty good set. So like it'll be a long. I'd have to farm specifically for that, and it's like it seems silly to farm for Cyno set when you know there's going to be some Nod Cry set that's going to be much better for her in the future. I mean, it's. I mean, personally, if I had to pick between a new character and a constellation, I'd go for a new character because new characters obviously add like more. Um, they give you more options. Like new characters allow you to like do things you. I personally like Cheska. She definitely is really fun in co-op. Um, but she is kind of like she's kind of a selfish DPS where you have to like constantly she's just on the field so much. So like it just kind of makes it harder to synergize with other people. But I do like her playstyle, and it's a fun playstyle. Um, and it's the swirls are pretty cool. But like I think your damage cap is not going to be as big as the other characters, simply because like like you want to keep her up as much as possible, so you need like uh I'd say I mean it probably be well, it has to be all patch elements, right? So it has to be you want three other um, elemental types. So that kind of makes it tough because like Furina is good because it can constantly apply stuff to it, like constantly apply elements. But you also then you need a healer that could heal your entire party because Chaska is going to be on the field most of the time. So you'll have no way of healing your other allies. Um, so I think Mavica is probably pretty good. You could throw in Sitlali as well. Like Mavica is good because she like will constantly do her little damage and stuff. I can't remember what her best teams are. Actually, one second. Let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I mean, I was thinking about it as well. I mean, you could go maybe like Mavica, Furina, and Escoffier. Because Escoffier, even just with one cryo and one ice, she does still provide some resistance reduction for herself, cryo and hydro. So it would be kind of cool to do something like that. But I mean, like, basically anyone who can provide off element stuff. But the thing is, like, Chaska does most of her damage with her like skill, so you're like holding down her charge attack and like charging up her bullets, which means like characters that provide off-field support that require you to do something like basic attacks. So like Yelan doesn't really work, Xingqiu doesn't really work, because like you need to do basic attacks to keep triggering their stuff, and you're just not going to do that. So that's the tough thing, is that you have to worry about is that whatever off-field damage they do, it has to be purely from it has to be just triggered naturally, just an off-field effect that just naturally continues. I mean, it's not like that's the only thing. Like, it's just been a while since I've seen Chaska teams, but basically any sort of patch element, like, you don't even need, like, they don't even need to provide off-field support. They don't have to be like Fiorina or Mavica, who can like still do damage. Obviously, the ones that can do damage off-field are better because they're doing the extra damage and stuff, and you will be swirling, elements. So being able to increase the damage that does as well through the swirls is going to be good. But realistically, all you just need are 3, Pyro, Electro, Hydro, or Cryo characters in the party, so that when she does a fully charged bullets, she has a chance. When she does a fully charged bullet, she can do her 3 anima bullets and then 3 elemental bullets. If you only have 2 patch element characters, it'll be 4 anima bullets and 2 elemental ones. And you can't have them matched. It's not like you have to have like 3 separate elements. You can have the same elements. Like, you can have like 2 water and technically yes. But like, you'd have to make sure, like, when you're doing her bullets, you'd have to be hovering over Bennett's field. Yeah, like, he's fine, but you just have to make sure that when you're holding her skill and doing her charge up, just be hovering over his ultimate field to make sure you get that buff. So it's not like Zhangling's burst. You still have to actually be like active in there. I guess that's. I guess I'll do it. I mean, she's fun enough to use. It's not like she's bad at all. Oh, I can't double up on that. Okay, that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, like, as I said, like, yeah, Bennet's kind of annoying because like you have to keep you have to make sure you're above. Like, he's like Jessica can just move anywhere, so you just gotta make sure she's like hovering above Bennett's field. But honestly, like, you can have any patch element in your party, and just her damage is fine. It doesn't. It's not super amazing. Like, it's not like Mulaney. I think does a lot more damage. Like, if you want big damage numbers, I think yeah, making more constellations for Mulaney would probably be better because like I've been using Milani, and she's just like so strong and powerful, and the teams I use her in are really good. I mean, the ones I've been using recently, I've been using. It's not the best one, obviously, but I've been using Milani, Dea, Emily, and Shalene. Obviously, if I replace Dea with Mavica, that would be better. But I like Dea as a character, and she still is useful. But realistically, yes, I should swap her out for Mavica. But whatever. I like Mavica's just so good anyway. So basically, Dea and Emily keep Burgeon up, so Milani can constantly vaporize. So, yeah, let me check what is Milani's constellation. Oh, I mean, her C1 is not super amazing. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, Milani's C1 is not great. Like, I mean, cool, like, consuming less phlogiston outside of combat is nice. Like, that is good for movement, but, like, her, her movement over land is, like, really shit. Like, you drain phlogiston so fucking quickly, but very little phlogiston over water. So she's really good for water travel, but there's not much water travel. So it's not like that helpful. Like Shilinen is so much better, so much faster, and it's like it only increases the damage of her Sharky by for the first instance. Now it increases it by a lot, so that's good. It increases by a percentage of her max HP, which is good, but generally it's not like super amazing. Whereas C2 is definitely more worthwhile because it allows her to get some extra puffer fish, and the puffer fish extends her gives her some Night Soul gauge back, which you get one of them for free. But basically, by getting extra, you now can stay in your Night Soul You can stay in your Night Soul state longer, even outside of Natlan. So that's definitely more useful. But C1 is not like super impressive. So if it's between C1 Milani and Chaska or Nepha, I would say Chaska. Well, I mean, if it's between Chaska and Nepha, I would try to say probably Nepha, because even though she's not amazing now, I think she probably will be. I think her utility will definitely improve. Well, actually, the fact that she has an Electro Shield is just useful in and of itself. Like, Chaska doesn't do anything Chaska doesn't really do anything that other Animo DPS do. Like, I mean, I guess she swirls herself. Like, you don't need to have your party members using elemental effects for her to swirl. She can just swirl based on her own elemental charged bullets. So that's kind of cool. But, like, Animo DPS have never been super impressive. Anyway, I'm gonna log out for 5 minutes, maybe not even 5 minutes, but I need to play some Final Fantasy XIV. They have a new patch up. I need to do one more frontline roulette, and then I might need to farm some Mog tomes because I've been really slacking. So I'll be out for a few minutes, and just as I'm quitting this game and logging into that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.